Welcome to Mindful Contract Administrator. This series of video clips has been designed in order to cultivate the habit of mindfulness within contract administrators in the construction industry. Today, we are going to talk about abnormally low tenders. In fact, we are going to talk about how to justify an abnormally low tender rate. This is a very common thing which is happening in the construction industry. Whether you are a contractor, you are a supplier, or a consultant who is providing services. This will benefit even the quantity surveyors who are doing the tender evaluation, as well as the contractors in justifying their rates, which in their opinion is of economical importance. Now, suppose you are a quantity surveyor who is doing a tender evaluation for a particular construction contract. Now, your senior quantity surveyor may have given you a task to compare the rates within the submitted tenders. Now, all of a sudden, you set forth a target and you realize the fact that certain tender rates are abnormally lower or higher than the rates stipulated within the estimate, either the pre-tender estimate or the average of the tenderers which have submitted the tender. Normally, you set forth a yardstick such as 15% or 10% in order to identify an abnormally low tender rate. However, is it sufficient enough? Identifying an abnormally low tender rate does not give you any sort of an idea why this particular tenderer has priced this particular item very low, whether it is workable, whether it is sustainable. Those are the questions which will come into your mind in clarifying this particular tender rate. So, what you normally do is you seek clarifications from the tenderers or a tenderer who has provided this particular abnormally low tender rate, why this has come down. So, today, in order to give an answer to this particular question, the tenderers have to give you some credible information. I will give you a guideline on how to assess this situation or how to address this situation, even as a contractor or as a consultant who will have to provide justification to his boss or his superior justifying this particular abnormally low tender rate. I am going to use a 6-letter formula which is very commonly used in the construction practice. However, in order for you to easily memorize this, I will use the word echo set. What does echo set means? This particular word, which is echo set, helps you to justify an abnormally low tender rate. I will give you examples for each and every condition here. In fact, these particular criteria has been set forth in EU regulations as well. They are using this in different ways. What I did was collating this particular information in order for you to easily memorize this through a single word, which is echo set. E means economics. If you are a contractor, supplier, or a consultant, you may have to price a certain tender based on economics. What do you mean by this sort of economics? Now, suppose you are having your own construction yard, which is got a lot of facilities, such as a ready-mix plant. Now, if you are having a ready-mix plant of your own, and if you produce concrete in bulk scale, you have a better opportunity than the rest of the contractors to price this particular concrete item in a more attractive rate, because your materials which will go into this particular plant will be taken or will be acquired by you in a very economic of scale basis, right? And then when you are thinking about a manufacturing process, suppose you are a large furniture supplier or a furniture manufacturer. The bulk material that you are taking may have been acquired or may have been purchased by you at a more attractive rate than the people who are using this particular operation in a lower scale. This is the economics where you have more advantage in pricing a tender than the rest of the contractors, manufacturers or consultants. Now let us move on to the compliance with the laws of the country. You may have priced a tender in a country like Norway or Netherlands, wherein the legal criteria there stipulates they have to work only 4 days per week. But when you price the tender, you may have considered for 5 days per week. So this may be a situation where you have not complied with the law of the country. Your estimate may have gone wrong. By considering 5 days per week for a particular employee, if you are an international contractor, so you believe that he can do more work, but you may go wrong. Due to the law of the country, you have certain restrictions. You cannot employ this person for 5 days per week. So this may be a situation wherein your abnormally low tender rate cannot be justified. Therefore, you have to justify this particular abnormally low tender rate that you are complying with the laws of the particular country. Then think about the originality. Now, certain specifications in tenders, they stipulate certain brands, such as off-the-shelf shuttering systems that you normally do. Now, if you are the person who is the manufacturer of this particular off-shelf shuttering system or inbuilt shuttering system, a well-defined shuttering system, you have more advantage than the rest of the contractors because you are supplying of your original work. And if it is priced by another contractor who is a second party to this particular product, he has to add all the transportation costs and the purchasing overheads that he has incurred in acquiring these assets, and therefore his price may go up. So if you can prove that you are the person who has originally designed this particular off-the-shelf shuttering or any other product that has been specified within the tender, you can prove that your rate is more attractive and you can easily win the tender in most of the circumstances. Now let us think about the state aid, which represents S in my particular word, ECOSET. S means state aid. Now certain countries, they provide loans for the contractors, manufacturers or service providers when they start up the business. So due to this overwhelming flow of money, you may have more advantage in investing that money to elevate your cash flow, or else in order to acquire certain materials, machinery in bulk scale, and definitely this will attract lower rates since you have a good cash flow within the company. So you can attract more supplies, you can have better conditions with them, and subsequently you will get a better rate. So based on that, you will provide a more attractive rate. Now think about the other condition, which is called exceptionally favorable condition. Now suppose you are a contractor who is having a GRC factory. GRC stands for glass reinforced concrete. Now suppose a particular tender requires a mosque to be built. Now you know, in this part of the world, in the Middle East, the mosque construction is very common. Now if this particular contractor has got GRC molds which is matching with this particular mosque where he has used in the previous projects, he can easily give a very attractive rate because the cost of the mold is free for him. There is no cost for him to prepare the mold in order to do this particular GRC works. So likewise, this is an exceptionally favorable condition for a contractor who has been in business in a similar type of construction work, and he has got the know-how, as well as he has got the materials and the resources related to his past work, which will definitely attract lower rates. And then there may be certain technical solutions that the contractor can provide in an alternative bid, which will attract lower rates as well. Now, you may have heard of autoclaved aerated block work. This is a novel concept which is in the market, which can easily replace the conventional cement sand blocks. Autoclaved aerated concrete blocks is lightweight and its size is also more than a traditional cement sand block. So it is easy for the construction of walls by using autoclaved aerated blocks. Moreover, it has got a better thermal capacity than normal cement sand blocks. So if the specification does not say that you must use cement sand blocks, or else the specification or the tender allows you to give an alternative bid, a person who is having this know-how about autoclaved aerated blocks can easily provide an alternative bid for the construction of walls with a very attractive rates. I believe now you understood how to justify an abnormally low tender rate and where you could go wrong as well. So remember the word ECOSET, which stands for economics, compliance with the laws, originality, state aid, and exceptionally favorable conditions. Last one, the technical solutions, which will give you grounds to justify abnormally low tender rates in the construction industry. I hope this video has helped you to get a knowledge about how you can address abnormally low tender rates and how you can justify them if needed. Thank you.